In this podcast episode, Stephen Bridges, a professional card counter, discusses his work and experiences in the world of professional gambling. He explains that card counting falls under the category of advantage play, which means beating a casino game legally. He distinguishes advantage play from cheating, as advantage players use the same information available to everyone else in the casino, but use it in a different way to gain an edge over the house. When asked how he describes his work to others, Bridges often refers to the movie 21 as a point of reference. If someone has seen the movie, they already have a basic understanding of card counting. If not, he explains that card counting involves keeping track of the cards in a deck and assigning them point values to gain an advantage over the house in games like blackjack. Bridges emphasizes that card counting is not recommended for most people due to the lifestyle and psychological impact it can have. He describes the financial risks involved, as even with an advantage, there is still a possibility of losing significant amounts of money. He also mentions the importance of mastering each element of card counting and having a large bankroll to withstand losing streaks. In terms of funding trips, Bridges initially collaborated with another YouTuber who taught card counting and was able to secure a significant investment from a friend who was interested in the venture. Nowadays, Bridges networks with other card counters who have money and investors looking to support advantage players. The funds are divided between the investors and the players, with the players being paid based on their playing time rather than their winnings. Bridges explains that there are two main approaches to card counting: solo team play and big player spotter team play. In solo team play, card counters play individually at different casinos but share a bankroll. This allows them to play more aggressively and maximize their potential winnings. In big player spotter team play, spotters keep track of the count at different tables and signal a big player to come in and bet large amounts when the count is high. This method helps to avoid suspicion from surveillance. When choosing which casinos to target, Bridges looks for those that offer good blackjack games with favorable rules. He mentions that not all blackjack games are created equally, and certain rule changes can affect the player's advantage. While Vegas is a popular destination for card counters, Bridges acknowledges that the surveillance departments are highly skilled and efficient. However, he also notes that Vegas casinos are more accustomed to card counters and tend to be more relaxed in their approach. The legality of card counting is discussed, and Bridges explains that it is generally legal as it does not involve cheating. However, there may be certain restrictions or complications in different countries or states. He mentions that the UK can be challenging for card counters, as casinos have more control over payouts and may withhold winnings. Bridges also highlights the importance of not breaking the law while engaging in card counting, as using fake IDs or engaging in other illegal activities can have severe consequences. In terms of the overall experience, Bridges describes it as a combination of stress, thrill, and reward. He acknowledges that it can be a grind, especially during long sessions, but the satisfaction of having an advantage and the excitement of the game make it worthwhile. He also reflects on the lack of ethical decency he has encountered in some casinos, where they prioritize their own interests over the well-being of players. Bridges shares instances where he witnessed casinos allowing intoxicated or vulnerable individuals to continue playing, while card counters are targeted and mistreated. Bridges recounts some of the worst backoffs he has experienced, including being denied a cash-out and having the police called on him. He highlights the aggressive and hostile behavior of casino staff in these situations and the lack of support from gaming commissioners. Despite these challenges, he remains determined to continue card counting and seeks to expose the unethical practices of some casinos. Bridges discusses the importance of team play in card counting and how his team has experienced significant losses in a single session, with one teammate losing $42,000 in just a few hours. He emphasizes the emotional impact of such losses, as it is a significant amount of money regardless of the context. He goes on to describe the worst times in his career, which are when he experiences a never-ending losing streak. He recalls a trip to Las Vegas in 2020 where his team initially won $97,000 but then proceeded to lose $110,000 in the following days. Bridges explains the frustration of continuously losing and the mental toll it takes on him. He shares a personal experience of losing $30,000 in a single session and having to compose himself in the restroom before being confronted by security guards. Bridges acknowledges that being a card counter requires a certain type of person who can handle the losses and continue playing without chasing their losses. He admits that there are times when he wants to leave due to significant losses but has to keep playing because the card count is still high. He emphasizes the importance of accumulating playing time to overcome short-term variance and achieve long-term success. The conversation then shifts to discussing the best games Bridges has been a part of. He mentions that any win above $30,000 or $40,000 is incredibly satisfying, regardless of the stakes. He recalls a recent trip where he won $19,000 in a single session, which may not seem like a lot compared to their losses but still brings a sense of satisfaction. Bridges explains that they measure success in trips rather than individual days and highlights some six-figure wins they have achieved as a team. The discussion turns to the challenges of managing large sums of cash and the difficulties of transporting six-figure winnings back to the UK. Bridges explains the process of declaring the cash at the airport and the potential risks involved in carrying such large amounts of money. He also mentions the concern of civil forfeiture laws in the US, where law enforcement can seize money if they suspect it is involved in illegal activities. Bridges reveals that he has had to adopt more elaborate disguises and covers to remain under the radar, especially since he has a popular YouTube channel with 500,000 subscribers. He discusses the challenges of maintaining anonymity and the risks of being recognized by casino staff. He shares his experiences of designing different looks, using beard dye, fake tattoos, and even jaw fillers to alter his appearance. Despite his efforts, Bridges admits that he has been caught and backed off by casinos. The conversation touches on the existence of other forms of advantage play in casinos, such as baccarat and roulette. Bridges explains that he focuses solely on card counting because it is a more widely applicable strategy, whereas other forms of advantage play tend to be specific loopholes that can be patched by casinos. He also mentions the existence of a larger community of advantage players who engage in various forms of advantage play. Bridges discusses his interactions with casino staff, particularly dealers. He acknowledges that their personalities vary greatly, with some being friendly and enjoyable to chat with, while others are less pleasant. He shares that he has encountered both helpful and unhelpful dealers during his career. Bridges also mentions the importance of interacting with dealers to maintain some level of human connection during long trips. The podcast concludes with Bridges reflecting on the challenges of being a professional card counter, including the constant travel, long hours, and the mental and emotional toll of losses. He emphasizes that the logistics of the job often outweigh the mathematical aspects, and that card counting is not as complicated as it may seem. Bridges expresses his gratitude for the opportunities and experiences he has had as a professional gambler. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.